thunderstorm can be a terrifying event, perhaps touching something beneath the surface of consciousness. Even today, science does not understand lightning's cause. But with new technology, we can now observe lightning in slow motion. We can fly directly into thunderstorms. And we can observe electrical events from space, seeing lightning as it has never been seen before. For years, we ignored direct human testimony about exotic forms of lightning. When airline pilots reported electrical discharges launched into space above the thunderclouds, scientists dismissed these reports. But now we know that blue jets and red sprites are real. Only recently did we begin to appreciate the electrical circuitry of our planet. By firing into space, blue jets, red sprites, and their exotic companions reveal a direct electrical connection to a much larger environment through which Earth itself moves. Our planet responds to surrounding space as a charged body would respond to regions of different charge. Auroral displays, for example, are now known to connect directly to the electrical domain of the sun. Most scientists dismissed this connection until it was proven by space-age findings. Meteorologists and atmospheric physicists were astonished to discover a flow of charged particles moving along magnetic field lines from the sun and entering Earth's upper atmosphere to light the auroras. The Earth-Sun connection means that space is not electrically neutral, as astronomers, cosmologists, and planetary scientists had so long supposed. But there is more to discover. Electrical events today cannot compare to events in more ancient times. Every early culture looked back in terror to the flash of a heaven-shaking thunderbolt. This great weapon of the gods never looks like the lightning we know. Never. Often the mythic thunderbolt is depicted acting in one direction only. But even more often, the images accent a bipolar form, an unexplained curiosity. But today, this mystifying weapon, the Thunderbolt of the Gods, is recognized in laboratory experiments with high-energy electrical discharge. And its bipolar form is seen in space as typified by the dynamic electrical structure of nebulas. The result is that the picture of planetary history has changed. The divine weapon, both celebrated and feared throughout the ancient world, now connects ancient mythology and symbolism to the most far-reaching discoveries in space. And one conclusion rises above all others. Just a few thousand years ago, cosmic events transformed our sky, forever altering human consciousness and cultural history. Hello, I'm David Talbot, and this is the second episode in the series, Symbols of an Alien Sky. Is it possible to reconstruct the cosmic events of ancient times? It is possible if we allow the witnesses themselves to speak in their own language of myths and symbols. That's how we bring to light the points of agreement between the different cultures. We expose the substructure of human memories around the world. In Episode 1, we considered several of these mythic archetypes. A primeval sun god whom the first astronomers mysteriously identified as the planet Saturn. A mother goddess said to be the planet Venus. A cosmic warrior named as the planet Mars. A fiery serpent or dragon attacking the world. And a cosmic mountain rising to the center of heaven. For millennia, we've tried to understand the archetypes based on the world as we know it. Despite our best efforts, every archetype remains an enigma today. Around the world, ancient cultures invoked a great wheel of heaven. They carved the wheel on stone, repeated endless stories about it, and celebrated it in magical rites. The power of this archetype has never been explained. But if we see the ancient world through the eyes of our early ancestors, we discover that the archetypes are descriptions of formations they saw in the sky and stories about what happened to these forms. The archetypes seem enigmatic only because those events are not occurring now. Our purpose here is to reconstruct the events that inspired the archetypes. When the great civilizations first appeared, the world was a much different place. How are we to understand the celestial events acting on human consciousness? The terrestrial sky today can't serve as a guide because the positions of planets, Earth included, have changed. But if we work only with the archetypes, consistent global testimony, a reliable picture does emerge. On the face of it, the picture is preposterous, unbelievable. But unbelievable only until the definitive evidence lies before us. A few thousand years ago, a gathering of planets filled the heavens close to Earth. In their electrical interactions, they produced immense discharge configurations in the sky. When these events occurred, our ancestors did not know what a planet is. They simply saw gods in the sky. And when the gods went to war, their most feared weapon was the cosmic thunderbolt. We see this thunderbolt in the hands of innumerable warrior gods and world-saving heroes. Early astronomical traditions held that the cosmic thunderbolt was a stream of fire between planets. Evidence for intense electrical activity in the ancient sky leads us directly to new discoveries in space. And from there to a surprising scientific confirmation of the reconstruction offered here.